Welcome back. I'm David Snell from SAP Enterprise Portals. The subtitle of our show is Creating Collaborative Advantage, and in order to give you an overview of what's going on in the portal space and to find out what's going on with the new SAP or SAP portal, I have two experts to collaborate with me, and I am delighted to welcome Elke Speliopoulos, who's a Director of Portal Solutions, and Greg Crider, who's Director of Product Marketing. The portal is an interesting animal, both to define and to sort of conceptualize, and it seems to me that the definition of it keeps constantly changing. Is there an answer to the basic, what is a portal today and how has it changed, Greg?
Well, an enterprise portal is a single point of access for all your different resources, whether that's a data source like a report, whether that's an enterprise application, a productivity tool, or perhaps one of your big ERP systems, as well as a way of integrating web-based content like real-time news feeds. Yeah. Now, people are really familiar with consumer portals, where they can go to one website and see information that's drawn from different sources. And we're trying to do something with an enterprise portal that does the same principle for all the different sources of knowledge that you might gain from within your company.
Yeah, they're called information funnels from time to time, but that isn't quite accurate, especially when you talk about aggregation and pulling stuff together and synthesizing it. I'm wondering what's going on in the market. It used to be that if you said you need a portal, their eyes would glaze over. But now, according to Forrester, apparently 25% or 27% of corporations have portals, and 30% are considering implementing them in 2002. So, Elke, maybe you could talk about the maturation of the portal market a little bit.
Yeah, well, first of all, we're seeing a lot of interest just within our own customer base, but also, of course, in the general market. People are really starting to wake up to the concept of what a portal is and how it can help them do business much more effectively and efficiently. And it has really gone from, like you said, just being an information portal where I can get my everyday information to a real business tool where I can have a business problem that I need to deal with in the course of the day. And by the building blocks within the portal framework, it allows me to very quickly address this, turn the information coming at me and augment it, and to get to the point where I have real knowledge in order to be able to solve my business problem.
Has the market recognized the value of proof of concept here on portals? Do people say, why do I need one of these things? Or do they say, hey, I need one of these things, please sell it to me?
Yeah, I think the appreciation has really matured, and that people now are really seeing how can I apply my portal to specific business issues. And really what they're wanting to do is go beyond an exploration of technology and focus on areas of their enterprise that need immediate solutions.
Well, let's pick that up for just a sec, and then I want to get into a new SAP portal. What are these areas that they're really saying, I need to be better here, and I think a portal could help me?
Well, I think some of the things they're looking to do is improve their relationships, you know, both within their company, within their employees, as well as across the whole value chain. I mean, with their customers and with their supply chain partners. I also think that they're really looking at improving the efficiency of their business. How can I do more with fewer resources, and also very much focus on generating measurable business value.
Yeah, okay, business value, relationships, efficiency, those are three pretty big targets, so let's find out how SAP is going to help us hit them. You've announced recently the release of a new SAP Enterprise Portal. It's called 5.0. Elke, tell us a little bit about this. Give me the executive summary of what this product is and why it might benefit me.
Right. The Enterprise Portal 5.0 is very unique in that we bring together what we consider 4 table legs to support the table of a portal. And these 4 table legs are the support of any kind of application system that you need to be bringing into the portal, but not just surfacing information from these systems, but really integrating this together, having a contextual entity here that I can work with to solve my business problems. So systems that we bring in, the concept behind this here is unification. Unification is a technology that allows me, to put it in general terms, basically to have a blanket that covers the complexity of underlying systems, and that allows me as a user or as a developer for content for a portal to only go to that level of complexity. I don't have to understand every intricacy of this underlying complex system. So this is one table leg. The other table leg that we deal with is our business intelligence. Business intelligence allows me to bring structured data into this context of the enterprise portal, and to support with structured information, with analytical information, information that I may be getting, an alert, for example, that I may be getting from one of my transaction systems. So that's my table leg number 2. The third table leg is the knowledge management component. This is really brand new for us. The knowledge management component allows me not only to have access to any kind of enterprise documents that I may have sitting around the enterprise, but also it allows me to sort this information into taxonomies very easily. So to very quickly...
A taxonomy, for the benefit of those who might not know what you mean, what is a taxonomy?
Well, a taxonomy allows me to have information structured. So for example, I have a document that deals with a particular partner that I deal with, whether it's a supplier, anybody in my ecosystem that I'm dealing with. I can set up a structure that allows me to sort any kind of information associated with this partner, whether it's a contract that we did with them, any kind of maybe emails or JPEGs that they have sent us about the product, to sort them into a structure in folders that allows me to find information. But mind you, the mind doesn't always think, my mind doesn't think like yours. So I may have set up a structure that you would have not set up in the same way. So we can also use this taxonomy to put information in other components, in other folder structures, by simply referencing back and forth.
So essentially what this does is eliminates that sort of search engine nightmare where you go in looking for information and you get a printout of 434 references. This allows you to somehow prioritize and layer the information so that you can actually work from it and gain knowledge from it.
Very true, very true. With a very powerful search engine built into it, like you said, that also allows me to search on the context and the concept behind what I'm looking for, because the search engine may not immediately understand my request, so I can fine-tune that to a very high degree. So that's our third table leg. Finally, the fourth table leg, to round this out, because the interest is to not only have my application data, which is already preset in the system, to not only have the structured data or analytical data coming in from the BI, to not only have the unstructured data coming from the knowledge management component, but we also want to add to this very timely information, up-to-date information, business information that we can draw from the internet. And here, of course, we have a partnership with Yahoo that allows us to bring in the business content from Yahoo, as well, of course, as to access other internet sources to really round out this picture, take me from a stage of having just raw information to the stage where I actually become knowledgeable to the point that this becomes actionable for me. I can act on it, make a decision, and resolve the business problem.
Okay, well, I'd like to look at those legs in a little bit more detail, but I want to ask you first, Greg. This sounds to me, at first blush, like information overload. You've essentially plucked information from 4 different areas and stuck it all on my desktop. Now, what is SAP going to do to make me efficient and put me in a position where I can use this information to actually generate value?
Well, one of the basic characteristics of our new portal is that it's role-based. That means when you log in, you see the content that's appropriate for you. Also, we've created a set of business packages that have been kind of pre-organized to address specific business problems. So when you log in the portal, you're not seeing a random aggregation of everything that your enterprise has. You actually see portal pages that have been laid out for your particular function in the business, plus we give you the ability to personalize those pages to allow you to focus on those things that are most relevant to you at any given moment.
Well, let's look a little more closely at a couple of those things. Now, you're beginning with sort of single sign-on or ease of use, and you talked about a business package and predefined roles. Who defines my role? If I am a salesperson, does SAP tell me what information I need, or do I then customize it to suit my company and my particular tastes?
Well, people don't want to always reinvent the wheel. So what we do is we give you the option of applying business packages that provide this content that's already been organized to address generic tasks. A common, for example, function, if you're getting the self-service for manager business package, is doing annual reviews. And we know that there's certain steps that a manager has to go through. So we try to anticipate those and lay pages out. But you certainly can customize it. In fact, one of the things which characterizes our enterprise portal is that it's open. That means that you can understand how it works, you can easily tailor it for your own needs, and you can also extend it to go against your own proprietary data sources, your own third-party applications. I mean, one thing we want to be really clear is that this is not just about integrating SAP applications, but we recognize that people function within a heterogeneous environment. And by that I mean there are lots of other third-party applications out there, there's lots of databases, there's lots of legacy systems, and it's key that your portal is able to access all of them.
Now, that's easy to say, but I would imagine it's somewhat hard to do.
Well,
do these systems just do mapping on the fly? Don't I have to do some sort of work ahead of time? If I'm going to take an account from a structured area and move it over into an unstructured area, somehow or other the systems have to recognize that I'm talking about a particular customer or a particular part.
Absolutely.
You're the technologist here. Help me out.
Absolutely. Obviously, no magic comes out of a box without intervention from developers in this case. Well, the intervention that we have created and to help companies succeed with this very rapidly are called unifiers. We spoke about unification, the concept before, where I can bring information together in its context from various heterogeneous systems. Unifiers allow me to do that. We have pre-built unifiers, and what this means is that we have already thought through the relationships that exist in particular systems. Just to give you a couple examples, we have used unifiers that are pre-built for Oracle. We have PeopleSoft, Siebel, Bahn. We have a legacy and database unifier that allows you to tie into your legacy systems that you may still have sitting around. So these have already been pre-built, and yes, that allows you to very rapidly access those back-end systems and plug them into the portal.
Let's talk a little bit about the knowledge management aspect. This is the unstructured data. I think I read somewhere that just about 85% of all the content that I need to do my job exists in this form, and not, unfortunately, in the applications and the databases that are easy to get hold of. What is it about our approach to knowledge management that allows me to go through all the videos and all the Word documents and all the contracts and all the stuff that's archived in various libraries and pull up what I need in order to do my job?
Well, there are really two sides to our, what we call our open knowledge management platform. One side is that we provide a complete self-sufficient knowledge management set of technologies, so that you can actually organize documents in what we call taxonomies. We actually index those documents so you can search them using really a state-of-the-art searching technology. But then we also provide a set of adapters which allow you to look at your existing repositories. So the fact is, when we talked about heterogeneous environments, people have a lot of investments in technologies like Lotus Notes and Microsoft Exchange and Documentum. And what we realized is that we needed to provide a single interface which will allow them to search across their existing repositories as well as the documents they want to organize within the context of their portal. So it's really giving you that single point of access and giving you a very intelligent searching mechanism which allows you to go and organize them. You might want to talk about what we call vector space searches.
Oh, I don't know. I said there would be no science on this test.
No, it's actually very easy to explain. My favorite example, because it's easy to explain, is let's assume I have to search for documentation on bats. Well, my search engine, if I type in bat, does not know, am I speaking about the nocturnal winged animal or the baseball bat, potentially? So it'll bring back both of these as my result set when it returns the search results. Well, at that point, I can then specify I'm really interested in the concept of nocturnal winged animal today. So I press a simple See Also button, as it's called, and it will then go out and look in a vector space of information. What that means, it'll lean slightly to the left and slightly to the right towards those concepts, baseball bat or nocturnal winged animal. And even though the document that it retrieves may not contain my original search term, it will find that based on the concept and context of this particular document. So it's a very intelligent search engine. Likewise, our technology is supported by an automation in terms of crawlers going out, retrieving information from all these various
Vectors, crawlers, and bats. My God, you're scaring me off.
Animals.
But let me just, that actually brings up a good point in terms of frightening concepts. This sounds enormously complicated. I'm sure the underlying technology is very powerful. But what about the end user now? Obviously, you have, for a knowledge worker, you have to put this into a format which he or she can actually take advantage of. And I wonder if one of you could speak to ease of use and user friendliness.
Well, really, that's what a portal is where it really delivers its business value, is when you actually organize information in a palatable fashion for the end user.
Yeah.
So it should be as simple as going to your consumer portal and saying, I want to check my stock, or I want to see what the news is. And all that we do in our portal pages is focused on creating a very simple navigation mechanism. So really, you don't need training to use a portal in essence. You see the information, you click on it, you maybe track down in a taxonomy, which is just a scary word to say, different categories and subcategories. The searching mechanism, the ability to use the same applications you may have been logging into in a dozen different places, from a single point of access.
Yeah.
So, and also, I think the thing that to reinforce is that when we develop a business package, we're saying rather than you have to chase down this information, we're going to put it on the same page for you. We're going to allow you to log in just once to the portal, and then everything is going to be accessible to you at that point.
Give me one or two examples of a business package.
Well, we were talking about the manager self-service.
Okay.
So, you know, this is where, for example, you know, once a year you have to look at the dozen people in your department and find out what were their objectives, what has been their salary history, what kind of a budget do you have to work with. Now, like in most organizations, those people may not have worked for you last year. So you would normally, without this type of application, have to call people up and send out emails and track this down and have things printed up in front of you while you look at somebody's spreadsheet.
Right.
And what we're doing here is saying, no, let's put everything on a few simple pages and coordinate those pages using a technology actually we call eventing. So when you look at an employee, all your different windows of information are automatically synchronized to look at the educational history, the salary history, the budget information, the objectives for the person that you're working with.
So eventing populates the screen with all the relevant eye views of this particular person. And theoretically, if I changed his salary level or compensation level or added a new skill that he picked up, the other evented screens would reflect this information instantly as well.
And to tie into what we were talking about with knowledge management, now mind you, I have just created my personal folder that contains all the emails or other documents that I have pertaining to this particular employee.
Yeah.
I can also save that particular view as an iView, so one of our little application screens within the portal, and tie that back into my package. So through this eventing mechanism, to have this information at my hands.
Now this is a new release, 5.0. My assumption is that you've had some beta customers, you've had it in test. Could you tell me a little bit of anecdotal evidence about how people are responding to it and how it's going?
Absolutely, I think I'll take that one.
All right.
My favorite story right now, SAP has a large push into the small, medium business market this year. We want to help these companies to see the value of the technology. And one of my customers is a company, Triverix, a contract manufacturer of medical devices. And they actually were so successful with their deployment of the enterprise portal that they wound up having to expand their production facilities. They have an enterprise portal that caters to their customers, so their customers can log in, get real-time data about their order status, see maybe sometimes their customers are also suppliers, so maybe they're the cause of an order delay and so on. So it's been so critical to this company for their growth that we keep getting letters or emails from them saying, hey, you know, you've really changed our business. You've made us more competitive in the marketplace.
Yeah. Well, we have approximately a minute left, so let's sort of end up with a review of the benefits. If you had to summarize sort of why a portal could help me be a more competitive company, what are some of the things that come to mind?
Once again, you're looking for measurable business return. So we can allow you to control your cost for managing your resources, you improve the efficiency of your business processes, and you improve the quality of your relationships, both with your employees as well as with your value chain partners, whether your customers or your suppliers. So really, it's all about efficiency and relationships, and once again, delivering measurable value in a very fixed period of time.
Elke, you want to add something to that? You're nodding very happily.
I'm nodding enthusiastically because he's really outlined what I would say, and also to add, in terms of return on investment, is think about all these existing systems that are out there. You don't have to change them right now. You can use the portal to really integrate these systems for maximum business value.
Well, I thank you very much, both of you. I wanted you to help me create collaborative advantage here, and you've done just that.